Hey everyone, I'm Tsunami. Welcome to my new video. Today I wanted to show you this very cool book I got in a thrift shop. It's about mushrooms from mid-Europe and it's beautiful illustrated. Look at these illustrations. Very detailed, the mushrooms and grasses and moss and plants which grow around them. It's very detailed and I love this book. And books like this are a perfect inspiration for our daily sketchbook practice. I wanted to have a book like this for so long, and what we are doing today is sketch a few of these mushrooms and then I will use them for an illustration. I have no idea which one I will choose. Perhaps I like these ones. Look at this, it's so beautiful. I hope you can see this. Love it. This one is also beautiful. Oh, I like in these illustrations how all of the plants and old leaves, dried leaves and acorns and everything around it looks so good together. Okay, then I will pick a few mushrooms and then I will use my sketchbook to sketch a few and then I will paint a little illustration here on my paper. I'm using the Baohong 100% cotton paper for this. So let's do this. So I decided, they all look so awesome, but I decided to go with kind of a normal looking mushroom, the Rhodophyllus sinuatus, a poisonous mushroom, a sip of coffee.
So then we are switching to voiceover. I'm sorry for my voice, I'm totally sick again. And I really wanted this video to come out this weekend. That's why I tried this voiceover for you. I hope it's not too bad. It was no option for me to skip a video again. It was a lot in the last months with being sick. I think my immune defense doesn't exist anymore for whatever reason. So we are here in my sketchbook now. I wanted to make a more detailed idea sketch before painting the actual artwork. I like the idea that these mushrooms grow on top of a spirit creature which lives in the soft moss and coziness of the forest floor. I like to give plants and mushrooms and also things a soul and a character, like the nature creatures which could exist, but we can see them. I think this is a cute imagination. I'm using the biological Latin name here also later because I don't know the English names of these mushrooms. The German names always sounds a bit funny, like this one. This one is the Riesenrötling, which is not as funny as other mushroom names. Then afterwards I sketched my idea on the watercolor paper. I went for the bigger size here. Normally I start with a first lighter layer, then I am building up my painting layer for layer for layer. But on this day I used almost only colors which are granulating. These are my Mijello Mission Gold watercolors, by the way. I love them. And these granulations came out so wonderful on this paper and on this first layer that I decided to leave it like this. I used in this painting the mahogany brown and bark brown, also the forest green from the tourmaline series, which are so beautiful. Also mixed them together here and there. And then I also used the gamboge as a nice warm yellow, which is the only non-granulating color in this painting I used. In the end, this one layer looked so perfect that I didn't want to destroy it with another layer on top. So I decided to directly start with the colored pencils after drying. Oh, I only layered a bit more brown on the lamellas of the mushrooms. This is all I did afterwards with watercolors. Then I picked a few colored pencils from Faber-Castell, the polychromos, also a few Derwent drawing ones, which fit very well to nature-themed illustrations and naturey colors. I went with the Indenthren blue here first. I don't know, I kind of fell in love with Indenthren blue for a while now, I have to say. Normally I would go for a more crazy color combination and color contrast in my paintings, but in this case I loved all these browns and greens so much that I wanted to stay more muted. If you know me for a while and know my paintings, you probably would have realized that I love to work with more louder colors here and there, more pinks and really cool blues and turquoises. I almost never use browns. But I think I have to paint more like this. I enjoyed it a lot and I will paint more mushrooms in the next weeks. I found a few more in this book, which I really want to paint. Books like this one are a huge source of inspiration, I think. These old books with botanical illustrations. Also old books with illustrated animals. These are often very beautiful, and sometimes if you want to paint and you don't know what to paint, then books like this are so good, and then it's easy to start sketching or painting. These books are real treasures, I think. What do you think? Do you use books like this as an inspiration or for painting references? Okay, you can also find a lot of these illustrations also on Pinterest. For example, I also have a collection on Pinterest with old vintage plant illustrations. But for me, a book is so much more inspiring, flipping through them, have them in my hands. They are more real for me, like a Pinterest collection, and something which I can always see in my shelf. And it reminds me to take it in my hands, look at the illustrations, and then start painting. Are you more the book lover, or do you prefer a good digital collection? I'm using both. I don't have always the perfect book here to inspire me, but my book collection is growing. I will frame this painting in a few days when I'm healthy again, perhaps in an old brown vintage frame. This could look awesome. I love to go into thrift shops and look for old frames. You can find so good and perfect ones there, and always for a good price. Sometimes I paint them when I need a frame in pink or blue. This also happened here and there. I have always a small collection of frames in my studio. I hope I will find one there for this painting in the right size. I also like this watercolor paper from Baohong, I have to say. It's a bit less pricey than the Arrtx, for example, and also such a good professional paper. The one I'm using here is also the fine grain, which is hot pressed, and like you could see, even if it's hot pressed paper, hot pressed is, by the way, the smoother paper with no or a very less structure. Even if it's the hot press paper, you can see the granulation very good on it. This is not always the thing. So, my painting is finished. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment a mushroom emoji if you are still here, so I know. Thank you so much. Also, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and click the bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your support. A big thank you to my wonderful patrons. You are amazing. Then have an awesome week, my friends. See you next time. Healthy again, hopefully. Your Tsunami.